Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away. This is a long time coming, isn't it? We've got basically the next two stages, stages 5 and 6 of Build the Legendary Kit from Knight Rider. Now this is from the folks over at Fanhome, and I'll put a link down here where you can get this all the way from pack 1. I did have a little bit of a hiccup with my subscription, which is why I'm delayed with these. And it has been so long. I remember going to the Cadbury's World Chocolate Factory back in October, coming back here and having issues 1 to 4 all completed. And I haven't received anything now until today because I had a little accident with my subscription, but it reverted back to stage 1 again. I've got 1 and 2 here again, and I also got today 3, 4, 5 and 6, which means that I can actually release issues 5 and 6 finally. But because it's been so long, I think it's probably best to show you where we're up to and what we've done so far. Even I can't explain some of these parts here. Obviously, we've got this section here. We've got the steering column here. We've got its shaft, by the look of it, which is metal. All of these bits here are metal, just so you know. Now, I did have this little tab which I took out because if you remember, I did Mike Lane's mods for the grills, and the grills look like that. Now, these don't come with the build. You have to get these through Mike Lane, and I have put a link down the bottom there to the Mike Lane mods website where you can get them from. I think they look absolutely brilliant. Obviously, these weren't in the whole series. I believe they were in season 1, and then I think they dropped off after series 2. But I think they look a lot better with those grills in. But obviously, we've got this front section here. We've done one of the tyres, which I believe in the modding community at the moment, there is some caps to put over the ends of the screws here, so they look like, lug nuts. We did the awesome dashboard panel, and again, in the modding community at the moment, you've got people putting real TVs in these things, which is pretty amazing. But that looks just like that. And then finally, we've got the bonnet, which looks just like that. Pretty impressive. So it has been a long time coming, but I can't wait to get back on this. And I do know that I've got stages 7, 8, 9 and 10 on the way, and I think 11, 12, 13 and 14 on the way as well. So hopefully it won't be long, and there'll be a bit more familiar content of the Knight Rider car on the channel. And so much so that I've celebrated by adding it to the header card on the channel. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So as you can see in stage 5, we are going to be working on the steering column. We have got some electrics in here, which I believe is going to power the front sensor. That's going to be pretty good. And we're actually mounting that as well. I don't know if we get tested in this one. It looks like we do. So I might have to get some batteries together so we can see what that looks like. That's going to be pretty impressive. And that's all we're doing in that stage. So this is what everything looks like in the pack. Let's open this up and see what we got. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need is we're going to need the steering column here. And we've also got this little Knight emblem symbol which came in stage 4. It's tiny, it looks just like that. That's just going to go into this point on the underside just here. So I'll get this in. That's actually just fell into, how lucky was that? That just dropped in there on itself. So that looks like that on the steering column there, on the steering wheel. We're going to be closing that with the metal steering rod here, which is just going to go onto the back of it. Obviously, that's going to hold that emblem in. We have got 2 screw holes, as you can see there, so we're going to be putting some GM screws into those holes. God, I haven't said this for a while, have I? Look, I'm going into metal, so I've dropped this in some oil. If I haven't said that at least once on a video, then something's wrong. And that's the second one just there. That's on tight, and obviously there's no way that emblem is coming out. We can put that to one side because now we're going to be working on this electrics. Just unravel the wire. Now, if you remember, we had the lens last time that we installed in here, just onto the front bumper section here, looking like that. So on the other side of this, this is where we're going to be mounting the lights here on the circuit board. So all the lights are just along this edge here, so they're just going to go over the top like that. Now they're going to be held in with AP screws. Now it's 2 AP screws, and they're just going to go into the holes in the middle there. Not these ones on the outside, the ones in the middle. So that's 1. And this one's 2. And then we do have a shield just to protect this here. That looks just like that. That's going to go over this whole section here. And this is why we didn't screw anything into those other holes here, because we're going to be putting some screws just into those holes there. This time it's BP screws. And I'll just put one at the other side here. And that's 2. So now that looks like that. So the lights are now fully engaged. So let's put some batteries in the battery box here. Now it's taking AAA batteries. So I had to run around the house to get some batteries, but I finally got some. They're AAA batteries, as I said, so they go in there, which means I'll get a chance to test this. So on this camera here, I flick the switch. Wow. I love it. That's it. The model's finished now. As far as I'm concerned, it's finished. That looks excellent. I absolutely love that. So that is what the scanner looks like. Now, we do have some parts left over in this stage, but that is all there is to do in that stage. I'm just going to have another look at this this scanner, because I can't get enough of it. Turn it on, flick the switch, so you can see, there you go, you can see it perfectly. That is brilliant. What an amazing stage. So let's move on to stage 6. Now in stage 6, we're going to be working on the suspension, and these are all the parts we got here. We have got a screwdriver in there as well. We're going to be putting some brackets on, attaching these all together in the top suspension joint by the look of it, and that is all there is to do in that stage. So this is the main suspension arm. This is metal, as you can see. Look at that. It's actually bigger than I thought it was, but yeah, it looks absolutely brilliant. All we're going to do is we're going to take these brackets. Now there are 2 brackets here, so don't get confused. We've got ones with long stalks and ones that are stubbier with shorter stalks. It's the longer one we need, and they are stamped with an L, just like the suspension mount here. You see you've got an L and an R on one side, and on the bracket here we have got an L. Now this is just going to be placed onto the L side. Now there is a locating lug in there, as you can see there. So all we're going to do is rotate this the right way round, and this here is just going to go in like that, and it's held in from the other side with an EM screw. So I've got that together here, and that's just going to go through the top just like this. We do exactly the same thing on the other side, so that's just going to go in that side there, and once again just going to grab one of the screws and screw that all the way down. So we've mirrored just from the other side there. So that looks like that. Now this is where we're going to use the stubbier ones. They're going to go on the bottom, but it's slightly different to what we've done before. We're going to line them up to the lug holes here, and it's going to be secured in from the other side with a HM screw. So I'm just going to put this in and then screw that in from the other side. I've already got one loaded up here, just with a HM screw going into this side. A little bit fiddly. And I have put oil on this screw as well, because we are going into metal. Just make sure that's completely tight. And then once that's in, whoops, that should look just like that, which means we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So we've got 4 brackets in now, once these are done. So once again, another HM screw, just mount my screwdriver up there, a little bit of oil through this side here, and make sure that's incredibly tight. So when it's finished, 4 brackets, and they should all look just like that. Now we're going to be putting the top suspension arm in. This is just going to go between these brackets here, and it's going to be held in from either side with an IM screw. Now these are really long screws, as you can see here. So all we've got to do is we've just got to line it up and put that in quite easily into the hole here. And I warn you now, there's some graphic content. It will just make your life easier when we put the suspension arm in, to make sure that the threads are cut perfectly, because you've got to remember there's paint in there, you see. So well, that was painful, wasn't it? Medic! And as if by magic we're all fixed. Oh, that was hard. Now in a similar scary fashion, we're going to be doing the other side. Hopefully this time I'm not going to stab myself. But once again, the IM screw, I'm going to start it with my hand this time, is going in this side. Just like last time, because there is paint in here, use oil and just go backwards and forwards until you've broken that first bit of skin on there, the paint skin, and then it should be fine for you to just put the whole thing in. Then just going to line this up. Perfect. And there we go. No problems at all. I didn't have any problems at all with that, getting that in. As you can see, it's in absolutely perfect. We've got another bracket here looking like that there. That's going to be going on this arm. So we can put that to one side, and we're going to be working on this arm now. That's just going to go into the two holes that we can see there, facing down. So it's this way round, just over the top like that, held in from the other side with DM screws. So that's one. As you can see, I've switched my screwdriver now to something a little bit more heavy duty. Because some of these threads do need cutting big time. And when that's in, that should look just like that. And that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. And boy, can't believe I was going to get injured. It was only a matter of time. It's the new year. It's 2022. I haven't had a blooper yet. So that's obviously going to go into the blooper reels, isn't it? I hope you paid heed to the graphic content warning on the social media accounts for that. But I'll be fine. Don't worry about that. Anyway, I was happy with that. We got some electrics working. We got the scanner working. I hope you enjoyed that video too. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.